More business updates now, 26 minutes to the top of the hour, and just to also quickly take you through what it means to invest. Zabu, a platform by Altec East Africa, tells you that you can do something new. How best can you do that? Start your investment journey today. Dial *292# for the MTN subscribers, and then kickstart of your investment journey and choose any bond that you wish to invest in. With a minimum of 15,000 shillings, you can easily invest in and ensure your investment journey has quickly kick-started off. So it is something that you should be keen to work upon. But also do remember that the most important part of it all is that you need to register with your national identification number, and once that is done, you will be able to invest in bonds and securities in the next 24 hours. But also, not only to remind you that these markets do open at 8:15 a.m. and close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Not these markets are always closed on weekends and also on public holidays. Zabo says, my money, my future. Altec East Africa says, do something new. And right now, off to Karibu, East Africa, as the Tanzanian Revenue Authority is set to start taxing small traders in Kariako. Now, Kariako is the busiest trading center in Dar es Salaam, and it has both local and foreign buyers, plus both local and foreign sellers. And the taxman now wants to ensure that everyone doing business in that area is paying taxes. Now, this is after the Tanzania Revenue Authority did come up with a new campaign to intensify revenue collection that is looking at the revenue mobilization strategies of Tanzania Revenue Authority. Now, according to Taxmat, they want to ensure that everyone doing business within the trading center, regardless of the size of the business, must be registered and given a taxpayer identification number, that is the TIN, to ensure that they continue doing business, but at the same time rendering revenue to the government. Now, not only that, the new campaign will involve the registration of small traders so that they start using the electronic physical device system in that is for especially traders within Tanzania, and the placement of posters inside the market with messages encouraging the issuance of receipts after selling every item. Now, Tanzania Revenue Authority's Kariako branch now seeks to collect 19.5 billion Tanzanian shillings in taxes this month through the campaign, which also emphasizes issuing valid receipts to different buyers or consumers. It is reported that more people from across East and Central Africa do flock to Kariako to buy various items during the festive season. Now, Mr. Katundu did say that Kariako tax region has registered a total of 5,370 small traders in the current financial year in the Kariako area. So that is a move by the Tanzania Revenue Authority to ensure that the traders within the city center of Kariako, that is the business district in Dar es Salaam, do pay taxes, and also ensure that regardless of whether the business is small or huge, everyone should be able to get a TIN and render different taxes to the government. And away from that, we turn our eyes to the 59 celebrations in Kenya. Yesterday, Kenya did mark 59 years of independence. Now, William Ruto, who is the president of Kenya, did award Kenyans in attendance with tech scholarships worth $10,000. The president also signed the country's government's additional allocations Bill 2022 into law. Now, Kenya President William Ruto, while presiding over the 59th Jamhuri at the National Stadium in Nyayo, over 20,000 scholarships were awarded to Kenyans who are attending the celebrations to mark over 5 decades since the country became a republic way back in 1964. Now, the scholarships are courtesy of Third Bat School of Global Management, Arizona State University. And then the Kenyans attending the celebrations accessed the scholarships at the stadium via a QR code within the venue. Now, the head of state further revealed that a 16-course unit would have cost $10,000, Earlier on, the ICT and Digital Economy Principal Secretary John Tanui had announced that Kenyans would get a free scholarship if they attended the Jamhuri Day celebrations. Now, the scholarships will be on technology certification courses and will be awarded to eligible adults. The president noted that through a dedicated startup fund, the government will support the most innovative ideas to scale up into viable commercial enterprises. Now, at the same time, if you're to look at this, President William Ruto also signed the county government's additional allocations bill 2022 into law. This bill provides the legal framework for the allocation of additional revenue to counties. It was apparently sponsored by Mandera Senator, that is Ali Ibrahim Roba, when it came to the floor of the House for the second time. Now, these funds will come from the proceeds of loans from development partners or from the national government revenue share that will be heading to different counties, and it will be going for additional revenues to the counties within Kenya. So that is according to the Jamhuri celebrations. And of course, here at Smart 24 TV, we do continue to celebrate with our brothers as Kenya is at 59. That will be the hashtag. And in our social media trends today, they are rotating around the same celebrations as Kenya marked 59 years of self-rule. Got independence in 1963, then became a republic in 1964. But away from Kenya, we head to Rwanda as the National Industrial Research and Development Agency Awards have awarded young innovators who are engaging in cow value chain. Now, the National Industrial Research and Development Agency has incubated and awarded 8 business projects of young innovators that are adding value to cow products and cow by-products under the initiative dubbed Innovate for Cow Biohackathon. Now, at least 162 groups comprising of 486 individuals applied for support under this particular initiative. So you can see how the young people are engaging in different competitions, but clearly to at least skill up and also showcase what they have in the world of innovation, especially when it comes to value addition. And that is where the world is actually heading. So it needs to be having young people, especially the youth, who are very competitive. Now, out of this, 33 groups comprising of 98 young innovators were selected for stage 3, of which 8 groups with 23 innovators did win. Now, the 8 groups were incubated for 8 months in the NIDA STEM lab box and the High Life Science Laboratory with a focus on product development. There is as well business development, marketing, intellectual property rights, and also management skills. They were rewarded with different cash prizes on Friday, December 9th, during the Research and Development and Innovations Demo Day that took place at the NIDA Research Center in Hui District. NIDA is the National Industrial Research and Development Agency in Rwanda. Now, the awards are in 4 categories, namely the Inspirational Award, the Green Award, Innovation Award, and Creativity Award. So basically all these are going into these young people. So ideally, if you're to break them down, the Inspiration Award clearly goes to who is inspiring more and how have they inspired society. Then the Innovation Award, clearly looking at the best innovator and the best innovation amongst the young people, and the Creativity Award, because all of them are creative, but which creative idea comes out as the best. So it is one of those in these awards. And then there's also the Green Award, with the mere fact that we are looking at addressing climate change. This award also entirely targets that particular region in regards to the discussion of how the young people can engage in pretty much changing society within Rwanda. So that is it for Karibu East Africa. Let's now switch our eyes to the SMB International News. And now with the international news, we have the United Kingdom economy, which is likely to get worse before it even gets better, according to the Chancellor. Now, the economy contracted by 0.3% during the 3 months as soaring prices hit businesses and different households, and the United Kingdom is now expected to be heading into recession. According to the Chancellor, these figures confirm that this is a very challenging economic situation here and across the world, and it will get worse before it does get better. Now, over the 3 months, economic activity in the UK slowed across all the main sectors, including production, construction, and services. Now, a country is in recession when its economy shrinks for 2-3 months period in a row. The United Kingdom is widely expected to be in recession by the end of this year through economic forecasters such as the Office for Budget Responsibility, which believes that the country centered a slowdown during the third quarter between July and September. When a country is in recession, it's a sign that its economy is doing badly. And during a downturn, companies typically make less money and the number of people unemployed does rise. So that is the same situation in the United Kingdom. Now, graduates and school leavers also find it harder to get their first job once the economy is in recession. Now, the Bank of England recently said that the United Kingdom is facing its longest downturn since records began. Now, on the other hand, it means that the government receives less money in tax to use on public services such as health and education. Now, there was a brief respite in October alone when the economy grew by 0.5%, according to the Office of the National Statistics. This compared to September when the output fell because of an additional bank holiday for Queen Elizabeth's state funeral. It meant that some businesses closed or had shorter opening hours. Now, during the third quarter, the economy shrank by 0.2%. If it continues to shrink between October and December, then otherwise known as the fourth quarter, the UK will officially be in recession. Now, Martin Beck, who is the chief economic advisor to the AY Item Club, said that although this current quarter had started positively with October's rise, there is a good chance the economy will contract. Last month, the Bank of England raised the interest rates from 2.25% to 3%, the biggest jump since 1989. The bank is expected to announce a further increase on Thursday by 0.5 percentage point to 3.5%. Now, not only that, Donald Nye, owner of the Edinburgh-based retailer Toys Galore, did say that rising interest rates are one of the reasons his customers are being more cautious about their spending. Now, the Labour's shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves did say on Monday that figures underline the failure of this Tory government to grow their own economy, but leaving the economy lagging behind on the global stage. Then there is also the Director of Economic Statistics at the ONS saying that some companies had said that the strike action had affected their businesses. So that is the United Kingdom economy in review. Now, besides that, let's head to the United States as the United States Africa Leaders Summit does take center stage. Now, President Biden is expected to reboot ties with Africa during this particular summit. Now, when you look at this, African leaders are descending on Washington, D.C. for the U.S. Africa Leaders Summit, a key moment for the United States to try to reset its relationship with African countries. The question as heads of states, business leaders and civil society experts gather is whether the event can deliver on its myriad objectives from addressing food security to the expanding trade. Now, the long gap since the last summit in 2014, along with the tense relationship between the US and the continent during former President Donald Trump's administration, during which he infamously called African nations shithole countries, and places extra pressure on this meeting. So Joe Biden has to ensure that he gets the president back on track with the United States. Now, when you look at some of the other issues here, this particular one is slated to start today. It is also the first real test of the new Sub-Saharan Africa policy President Joe Biden and his administration released earlier this year. But in order to demonstrate a real shift in the US policy and attitudes, the summit needs to go beyond pageantry, canned speeches, and a parade of symbolic announcements. Experts have apparently come out to reveal this. Now, the gathering is coming at a fourth time for the continent as countries dealing with a deluge of shocks, the lingering economic hardships, look at the effects of the corona pandemic, then the historic high inflation, a mounting debt crisis, the rising fuel and gas costs, or when you look at also the other issue to do with food prices that have also risen within other countries, and the devastating natural disasters connected to climate change. Now, if the conversation doesn't move beyond just talking, you will get to realize that nothing will change. But now sources have have actually revealed that through a new Digital Africa initiative aimed at improving digital connectivity, while Joe Biden in Sub-Saharan Africa's policy hinted at expanded focus on digital access, there has been few details to date. So those are some of the key things that will be discussed about also digital transformation and digital transition within the African continent. President Museveni is also among the key leaders that will be a part of this particular summit that will be taking place in the United States. He first passed via the United Kingdom meanwhile. Okay, now lastly from the international news, we look at Microsoft, which is set to buy 4% stake in the London Stock Exchange. Now, Microsoft is set to take a 4% equity stake in London Stock Exchange Group as part of a 10-year commercial deal to migrate the exchange operator's data platform into the cloud. Now, the British company did reveal this on Monday. It is the latest sign of deepening ties between financial services providers and a handful of big global cloud companies such as Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and IBM, which have prompted regulators to scrutinize the ties more closely. Microsoft has long-standing links with the London Stock Exchange, but the exchange's group chief executive David Schwimmer said that about a year ago they began talks on closer ties. Now, it's a long-term partnership in terms of the products that will be building together, as they will be expecting that the customers will start to see the benefits of the 18 to 24 month out and will continue building from there, according to Schwimmer. Now, regulators have expressed concern about the over-reliance of financial firms on too few cloud providers, given the disruption could cause across the sector if a provider went down. Now, the European Union has just approved a law introducing safeguards on cloud providers in financial services, with Britain set to follow suit. Now, the London Stock Exchange said that the link with Microsoft was a partnership to reap the benefits of consumption-based pricing and not a traditional cloud deal. As part of the deal, London Stock Exchange has made a contractual commitment for minimum cloud-related expenditure with Microsoft of $2.8 billion over the term of the partnership. Now, Microsoft said that the basis of the partnership will be the digital transformation of the London Stock Exchange's technology infrastructure and the Refinitiv platform on the Microsoft cloud. Now, the London Stock Exchange bought Refinitiv for $27 billion from a Blackstone and Thomson Reuters consortium, which later on turned the exchange into the second largest financial data company after Bloomberg. Now, London Stock Exchange has made good progress on its program for the delivery of its cloud-based data platform since the completion of its Refinitiv acquisition in January 2021. It is said that this was said actually in a statement. Now, Microsoft will buy London Stock Exchange from the Blackstone. It will be buying shares of the London Stock Exchange from Blackstone, that is the Blackstone consortium, according to what the exchange operator revealed. So Thomson Reuters, which owns Reuters News, has a minority shareholding in the London Stock Exchange following the Refinitiv deal. Now, Microsoft's purchase is also expected to complete in the first quarter of 2023. As more of that, now Microsoft intends to buy shares in the London Stock Exchange. How possible will that be? Big names in there, the likes of Bill Gates coming on board for Microsoft. He's one of the co-founders of Microsoft. Now, besides that, that is all from the international space. But do remember that our business updates do continue with real-time, up-to-speed updating you every other hour. But how do you do it? Follow us on our social media platforms: Twitter, Smart24TV. Our website is www.smart24.tv. Our YouTube channel is Smart24TV Live. Please do remember to subscribe. Not only that, meanwhile, also remember that it's quite important for you to cop up with our business updates by following our ever-growing social media platforms. I did mention Twitter, but also we do have Instagram, Smart24_TV. Then we do have Facebook, Smart24TV Official, and LinkedIn for more business discussions and business growth. We are on mainstream, channel 394, that is on GoTV, and DSTV is channel 372. Let's continue driving your business and giving you real updates. Now, Smart Means Business will be returning at 8 a.m. here just with 6 minutes to go, and I'll be getting back with more. Coming up in that hour, we shall be having the social media trends, Kenya at 59 celebrations, the trends and what's happening on the timeline. Not only that, we have an update coming in from Uganda's investment sector. Not only that, also we shall be giving you more of the latest coming in from sports business as well as entertainment business. Good morning, this is Smart Means Business. Smart 24, driving business.